All right, let's go ahead and get started by taking a comfortable seat on the mat. So any comfortable seat, you can be sitting up on a block or a blanket, whatever feels right in your body. So just bring your hands to your knees, to your lap, close your eyes and settle in. The day might be spinning around us. We might have a to-do list a million miles long. But right now, for these 30, 35 minutes, all you need to do is be right here in this moment. You're invited to connect to your breath. Long, slow inhalations in, long, slow exhalations out. Eric Schiffman is a yoga teacher who's been teaching for many, many years. And in his book, Moving into Stillness, he talks about how the aim of yoga is to be like that perfectly centered top. So it's not that the top isn't spinning, but it's in balance. There's chaos around it, it's moving quickly, but it is still and steady right there in the center. So using the breath to find our center, drop your chin towards your chest. Bringing your head back to neutral. Lift your chin up, look up. Bringing your head back to a neutral spine. Drop your right ear to your right shoulder. You can take your right hand to your left ear if that feels right in your body. Coming back to neutral spine, drop your left ear to your left shoulder. You can take your left hand to your right ear if that feels right to you. Bringing your head back to center. All right, so now we're going to take our hands, we're going to take our right arm across our chest, and we're going to draw that arm in. Just connecting to your breath in through your nose, out through your nose. You can bring in that ujjayi, that slight constriction, the back of the throat, if that feels right. Switching arms. Left arm across the chest, hugging in. And release the arms. Just take those arms back and forth a couple times, changing the cross in front of you, just letting them be open. And release your hands down to the mat. We're going to take our left hand, plant the left hand down onto the mat, anchor down through your sit bones. Lift your right arm up and over. Reach through your fingers as far as they'll go. As you anchor your right hip down onto the mat, rotate your rib cage to bring your chest up towards the ceiling. Look up. Reach, reach, reach. And come back to center. Plant the right hand down, left arm up and over. Reach through your fingers as far as they'll go, rotating the ribcage up towards the ceiling. Look up. And come back to center. Okay, we're gonna get a little bit into the hips before we move into sun salutations. So I'm just gonna move on my mat so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so we're gonna start like we're gonna go into Navasana, into boat pose, taking our hands back behind us, so knees bent, feet on the mat. So if you have a tendency to round through that back, see if you can lift up. So lifting up out of the rounding, out of the hips. We're gonna take our right foot to our left knee. Now lengthening up. So here, I want you to really flex through the bottoms of your feet. You can keep walking those hands in to lift up, and you can walk your left foot back a little bit more as well. So find that place, not too hard, not too easy, just right. Now breathe into this space. Beginning to really tune in and pay attention to the sensations in your body. So there should not be any sharp shooting pains. That means back off. But sensations are normal. Just 2 more breaths here. All right, extend the left foot out on the mat, extend the right foot out, shake out the legs and the feet. Now, bending the right knee, we're gonna take the left leg, cross it over top of the right. So coming in, one side might feel different than the other. Beginning to adjust. Really flexing through the left foot. Two more breaths. And release that right foot all the way out. Shake it out on this side. All right, now please come to tabletop position. Wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. So checking in with your alignment. Now from here in your tabletop position, drop your belly, lift your heart, drawing your chest through, look up. Then pull your belly button towards the ceiling, round your back, drop your head and neck. You can go as fast as you'd like or as slow as you'd like in your cat-cows. Beginning to link the breath and the movement. Exhale to cat. Inhale to cow as we open our chest and our heart forward. And then coming back to a neutral spine. Tuck your toes, walk your hands forward just a little, spread your fingers wide, and then we're gonna press our hips. So keeping that tailbone kind of moving upwards as we begin to straighten our legs up into downward facing dog. Coming high onto your toes, lift your hips, press your heels back and down. Now you do you in your downward facing dog, so you can bend the knees to pedal the feet. You can find stillness. You can wiggle around. You could even take a couple vinyasas here if you wanted to. Listen to your body. What's it asking for? This practice is all about getting curious about what's happening in your body, on your mat, in this space and time. Try that with me. Big, deep breath in, let it out through the mouth. It's relaxing into this shape. Pedaling the feet. Now, drop the knees down a couple inches above the mat. Hover, keep
taking your tailbone back and up as you hover your legs, downward facing dog, lift back up. I call this crouching tiger, hidden dog, drop down, drop the knees down, crouching tiger, hidden dog, tailbone stays pointing up, lift those legs back up, drop your heels down. Look forward between your hands, walk your feet up to the top of the mat. Bring your hands to your shins, press and lengthen forward, long spine. Fold, Uttanasana, melt everything down. Inhale, arms lift up, reach up. And releasing hands to heart center. All right, so connecting your thumbs to your chest, just close your eyes. And if you haven't already, call to mind your intention for this practice. Just hold that intention in your mind's eye and let it go. Inhale, arms sweep up, reach up, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen forward, fold, plant your hands. You can step, hop, or float back to plank. We're gonna take a beat here in plank, core is engaged, belly lifted. You can always drop your knees down. Wherever you are is exactly where you need to be. Now, you can take a chaturanga if you'd like. Otherwise, knees come down, lower your elbows down, keep that booty up towards the air, inchworm. Drop your belly. Inhale, lift up, cobra. Exhale, take it back, downward facing dog. So you can do the next sun salutation just like that, or you can turn it into a little bit more of a fluid flow, flowing with me. Listen to your body. What are you asking for? What does it need today? Look forward between your hands, step or hop to the top of the mat. Lengthen through, long spine, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift up, reach up, exhale, hands to heart center. We're gonna take this one a little faster, but if you're going slower than I'm going, that's fine. Listen to your body. Inhale, lift up, reach up, swan dive forward. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, fold, plant your hands, step, hop, or float back to plank. Core is engaged, belly lifted. Lower down, knees, chest, and chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, upward. Exhale, down, diggity dog. Take it back, 3 breaths. Look between your hands, step, hop, or float to the top of the mat. Lengthen through, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift up, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center. One more, Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, sweep up, reach high, fold forward. Inhale to lengthen and fold. Plant your hands, take it to plank. Core is engaged, belly lifted, lower down, chaturanga, upward facing, down, diggity dog, take it back. Look forward, step, hop, or float to the top of the mat. Lengthen through, fold. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, hands to heart center. All right, finding a strong Tadasana, feet directly underneath your hip bones. Inhale to chair, sit back. Drop the tailbone, sit back. Beginning to feel the tapas, the fire, the heat build in the body. Bring your hands to heart center and twist to the left, right elbow, left thigh. Spiraling open. Now, if one knee is trying to poke a little bit more forward than the other, bring them back into alignment. Come back to center. Can you sit back a little deeper? Twist to the other side. Left elbow, right thigh. Come back to center. Fold Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen. And fold, plant your hands, step back to plank. Now, we're gonna hold plank. We're gonna continue building this heat in the body. You can always bring your knees down. Listen to your body, engage your core. Press out through your heels. Check in. So we don't wanna be banana boating down with the hips. We wanna come back to center, but we also don't wanna be poking that bottom up towards the ceiling. We want to find that strong plank. Tailbone tucks under, core is engaged. Hug in towards your midline. Breathe. All right, lower down, knees, chest, and chin, or chaturanga. Inhale upward, exhale downward. Right leg floats up, reach high, press out through your heel, draw your knee in, hug that knee in nice and high, step through low runner's lunge. So from here, we're gonna drop our back knee down, melt the toes onto the mat. All right, we're gonna lift up Anjaneya, lifting up front knee over top of the foot. Reaching up, so lift up, lift your rib cage out of your hips, hug in. All right, hands are gonna come down on the inside of the front foot. So we're gonna really hug that the knee in towards the shoulder. Breathe your way in here. All right, we're gonna come down onto our forearms. So you can stay right here. If this is exactly where you need to be today, that's perfect, it's great. If you wanna come down, you can always come down onto a block or books or a bolster, or you can come all the way down on the mat. Wherever you are is exactly where you need to be. Now I'm gonna roll on the outside edge of my right foot. And I'm gonna begin to walk my hands over more towards the left side. So I'm on the outside edge of my right foot over here. And then I'm taking my hands over to the left. Just opening up the hips. Coming back to center. Lifting up onto your hands, drawing that right knee back in towards the side. I'm gonna take my right hand on the outside of the right leg, and I'm gonna take my hips forward and back, and I'm gonna straighten out this right leg. So I'm coming up onto my fingertips, but you could also come up onto a block or bolster, lengthening through the top of your head as you fold down over your leg. Coming back up onto the fingertips, bending into that front knee, tucking the toes of the back foot, straighten your back leg, step back, downward facing dog. Coming high up onto your toes, lift your hips, press your heels, back and down. Shake your head no, nod a yes. Float your left leg up towards the ceiling, press out through your heel. Draw your knee in, step through low runner's lunge on this side. Drop your back knee down, melt the toes of your back foot onto the mat. Check in, inhale, arms lift up, reach up. Lifting your ribcage out of your hips, even here, hug in, reach up, slight back bend. Hands come down on the inside of the foot this time. We're still hugging the knee in towards the shoulder, staying up on the hands. Breathe your way in on this side. Now decide whether or not you want to stay here or if you want to come down onto a block, onto bolsters, onto your forearms. What is right for your body today in this moment? We can hang out right here and then walk the hands over to the right side. Still on the outside edge of the left foot. Walking your hands back to center. We're going to heel toe the left foot back in, taking the left hand on the outside of the left foot. We're taking our hips forward and back, just finding alignment right here in the hips. And then shooting the hips straight back as you straighten out your left leg, coming up onto the fingertips. Lengthening your heart and your spine, flat back as you fold forward over top of the leg. Walking your hands forward, tuck the toes of the back foot, lift the back leg up off the mat, step back down, diggity dog, take it back. Wiggle your way in. All right, we're gonna shift our weight forward into plank, wrists underneath shoulders. Now lower all the way down as slowly as you can onto your belly. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Can you hover above the top and then all the way down? Okay, hands come down at our sides. We're gonna trace our nose along the mat. We're gonna lift up through the top of our head. We're gonna lift our upper body, lift our legs, lifting up. Breathe your way in. Keep lifting, keep breathing. You got this. Strong bodies make strong minds. Y'all showed up on the mat. That's the biggest hurdle, is just showing up. Lower all the way down. Hands come down on either side, underneath the shoulders. Press back to child's pose. Folding over top of your legs, bring your forehead to the mat. Walk your hands back. All right, we're gonna shift the legs to one side and we're gonna bring the legs forward in front of us. I'm gonna center myself in front, in the middle of the mat again. All right, we're gonna move into Navasana, into boat pose. So you've got lots of options with your boat pose. Ground down through your sit bones, lift up, long spine. Now lift your legs up so we can start with those shins parallel to the mat. You can start with the hands behind the legs. You can be reaching forward as you keep lifting up. Can you lower down and hover? Hovering the feet, hovering the upper body. We're sinking the boat here. Can you lift back up? Strong core, strong body. Wherever you are is exactly where you need to be. Then coming down and hover, hug in. Lift up, hug in. Can you lower down and hover? Lift up, bring your feet down, reach your hands out, slowly come down, nice and slow, slowly, slowly, slowly. Draw your knees in, lift your head, lift your tailbone, turn into a little ball. Exhale your head down, rock it out from side to side, rock it all out. Let that low back relax and release. All right, one more core exercise before we move into some gentler postures. So shins still parallel to the mat. And I just thought of another core exercise I wanted to do with y'all, but I'm gonna restrain myself. So we're gonna make sure our knees are at a 90-degree angle outside of our hips. Bring your hands back behind your head, lifting your shoulder blades up off the mat. Extend your right leg out, right leg hovers above the mat as you take your right elbow towards your left knee. So here's the trick in these yogi bicycles. We're taking the chest and the elbow towards the knee, not the knee to the elbow. And switch, come back to center. Left elbow towards the knee. You can go as slow as you'd like or as fast as you'd like. Strong bodies make strong minds. We are strengthening the core of our being. Breathe. You got this. Oh, that's great. Draw those knees in, lift your head, lift your tailbone, turn into a little ball. Exhale your head down, rock it out, side to side, rock it all out. Let's take a little happy baby. So draw those knees in. We're gonna take the outsides of our feet. So this pose is actually called two things. And if you've been practicing with me for a while, you know that it's not just called happy baby, it's also called dead bug. It's not necessarily one of my favorites, which typically means we need to practice it more. If we don't like it, that's probably our medicine. I'm coming to peace with it, so we're gonna call it happy baby today. Extending the right leg out, keeping the left knee bent. Drawing the knee in. Then extending the left leg out, keeping the right knee bent. And then draw it in. All right, hugging both knees in towards the chest, bring the feet back down on the mat. So walk your heels back towards your booty. Hands come down at your sides. We're gonna tip. What we're gonna do is we're gonna press into the feet and we're gonna come up into bridge, coming up onto our shoulders, drawing our shoulder blades underneath us. Interlace your fingers, lift your hips up. Can you lift a little higher? Isometrically hugging your inner thighs in towards one another. And release your hands slowly, slowly, slowly coming down. Windshield wiper your legs to one side and then the other. And then bringing your knees back up to center. Open your arms out wide like a T. Find the edges of the mat with your feet. Center yourself in the middle as you drop your knees to the right, gently turning your head left.
Relax and release, let go. Anything you're still holding on to, let it go. Lifting your knees up to the center, let them fall over to the other side as you gently turn your head to the right. Lifting your knees up to center, you have two choices. You can make your way into corpse pose or Supta Baddha Konasana for final relaxation. So either Supta Baddha Konasana, feet together, making your way into this nice reclining posture, or extending your legs all the way out, letting your feet fall open, arms coming down at your sides, palms face up, open to receive. Doing whatever you need to do to get as comfortable and cozy as possible. So making our way into Shavasana, corpse pose, final relaxation. We as yogis practice corpse pose almost every day. And if you're doing yoga right, in my opinion, you're definitely practicing corpse pose every day. But so often, how often do we tell ourselves, we don't need that rest, and we skip final relaxation? Corpse pose is also a reminder that everything has a natural death. Everything has a natural end. Allowing ourselves to sit in Shavasana, to sit in death, is that reminder. A place to allow. Letting go of any control of the breath you might still be holding on to. And just be. If you are content in your Shavasana, I would invite you to stay a little longer, maybe 3 or 4 more minutes. But if it is the end of your practice, bring small movements to your toes and to your fingers. Maybe move your head from side to side. Bend your knees and bring your feet to the mat. We'll gently and carefully roll to the right side, pausing there for just a moment, honoring the transition out of the practice as much as we honor the practice itself. slowly pushing yourself up to a nice, comfortable, seated position, eyes closed, hands at heart center. Yoga will teach you so much about yourself. It will help you become flexible in mind, in body, and in spirit. For that, I am truly grateful. Thank you so much for coming to class. Namaste. Good work, yogis.